Today I am with the Levi Edwards, and we are talking about three critical things to think about when building your website and stuff that you really want to know and understand before you go out and build it. And if you're new onto the scope, this is what we talk about 5 days a week. So feel free to follow at any time by swiping down or swiping over and hitting follow, or also sharing this out.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Share away. Let's get some people in here.
So yeah, and if you're new to us, Levi, you want to introduce?
I'm Levi Edwards, web developer here at Netmark. Build the websites. I'll do a little bit of SEO here and there. But yeah, we're here today to talk to you a little bit about ways. What's the title again?
Three critical ways.
Yes,
three critical things to think about before you even build your website.
Before you build your website. That's right. And should we just dive right in?
Yeah, let's just go into number one.
All right, man. So I think the first thing that we wanted to talk about was that before you build your website, you need to know what the goal of your website is. So what's the purpose of it? Why are you building a website? Do you need a website? Probably. Everyone needs one. But what's the goal? Is the goal to get someone to go to your site and purchase something so that you make some money? Is it to sign up for your mailing list? Hello.
Yeah, welcome back, Rami.
Yeah, Rami. Rami, what's up, man?
Rami, as always.
Yeah. So the first thing we're talking about is the goal of your website, how to get conversions, and then so once you find out what that goal is, whether it's just raising brand awareness, conversions, an e-commerce store, there's a long list of things that these goals could be. You need to come up with a design that focuses on converting for that specific goal. So UX design really comes into play here, and we're talking about call to action, banners, if it's a pop-up or something, if whatever it is to draw, if it's a discount code, promo code for your e-commerce store, something that helps convert your goal. And so before you even get started like designing or anything, you want to sit down, brainstorm, write down.
No hosting service for closing websites.
No hosting service for closing websites.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think that's like, and why this is critical and why like the title is like stop is because people don't, like, people really don't think about what they want to accomplish with the website, and that's like it's a huge problem because you're going to spend all this time, you're going to create content. We're going to talk about some other things on here as well, but you're going to create content, you're going to put words up there, you're going to do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, like, it's going to be more of a problem than if you just would have done nothing, you know? Like,
yeah, you're going to have to go back and reassess.
Yeah,
you're going to have to. You're just going to be in a tight place. Like, you're not going to be getting the conversions that you wanted. You don't understand why. You have a website, you spend all this money and or time to get it up, and now you're like, why is nothing going on? Well, because you didn't do the critical things that you were supposed to in the beginning. One of which is finding that goal and figuring out how to convert for that goal. And there's lots of proven research on this, how to draw attention to certain parts of the page, how to make your website flow, and basically you can get users to direct from one page to another exactly as you want without them even realizing that you kind of made them do it. And that's the trick of UX design.
Seriously, now, most website comes when putting it online need a good plan before. Yes, it's super true. And like I feel like people skip like the step of figuring out what their website's actually supposed to accomplish, because that's the hard work, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you have to understand your customer, you have to understand what your plan is.
Yeah.
Like you have to understand like how you're gonna process things. So there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
But it's like just do it.
And that's a good segue into our second point, which is kind of doing a little bit of that search engine optimization and research for your target market. I don't know we could just call it SEO for that one. So the first one will be goals. The second one is SEO, and you want to implement this stuff in a way that it doesn't hurt you later. So you want to do it right from the beginning. Bruce and I were just talking about somebody that had over 600 errors or something on their website because for the past however many years, I don't know, 3-4 years, a blog post every day or every week or whatever.
It's 8 years old.
It's 8 years old. Okay, there we go.
And then the first time they're thinking about SEO is 2016, you know, or like the first time they're really like getting serious about it, you know. So it's like there's.
So ideally, now someone has to go back to 600 different blog posts and pages and like do it the right way now.
Yeah, 690 errors. Where if you understood from the get go, like, hey, this is to get a website online, but keeping it alive is a challenge. Yes, but like, yeah. So if you go to the very beginning and you understand, oh, hey, maybe I should just like label the photo like something that has to do with the blog article, and maybe we could even talk about like these things, like label the photo exactly what it is, so that it actually shows up on Google. Like
Yes.
and then have a blog title that is built around a keyword, or like just all
Yeah,
these.
and you've done the keyword research for your target market, so you know exactly which keywords to put in some of the blog content throughout the site. You can. We were talking about linking back a keyword phrase back to the home page, and like you're saying, alt tags, title tags, meta tags, descriptions in the photos. These are all things you should do. Every blog post, you should optimize it for your target market. That way, you have the maximum potential to reach those people.
Yeah, and maybe I'll even come up with something like just a little checklist for you all, like just like so.
That'd be really cool, man.
Yeah, because I think that'd be really helpful. Because it's just like if you just do simple things on every blog post, on every page, then you're going to be successful in the long run. Not anymore, but old school time. It's complete new industry, but optimizing websites. Yeah. By the way, if you're just joining on the scope, we're talking about the 3 critical things to think about before you build your website. And if you feel like your followers would get value out of this, or you just want to be nice, feel free to swipe over or swipe down and share this out.
Yes, share it away.
We've got some good tips, and I really think it's an important thing for everybody to think about, because I just deal with that like a lot, or like when we do the audits of things, it's like really
they've just been doing it wrong from the beginning. And if they had done these, a couple of these things right from the start, they wouldn't have this problem. And they build the website and they don't realize why they're not ranking for things. They're not getting traffic, but this is why, because they're just doing things incorrectly. So the first thing we talked about was goals, finding the right goals and converting for those goals. Second being search engine optimization and how to reach your target market. And third, we want to discuss about some of kind of keeping the development space tidy and implementing modern techniques.
Tidiness, yeah.
Organization.
And Naomi, don't think I didn't see that. Hey, welcome on, by the way. Yeah,
what's up, Naomi?
Yeah, Naomi, and I saw T Gypsum on here as well. Some of the hardcore roadies.
Yeah, there we go.
I was about to report broadcasts rather than sharing. Okay, yeah.
Way to go.
That would have been bad.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
About to get reported in here, man.
Yeah, hi all. Yeah, what's up, T
Causing a
Gypsum?
ruckus.
I know.
All right, so the third thing we're discussing is tidiness. When you develop, if you are the one building the website, sometimes you might be having someone else build it, working alongside them. The first 2...
I listened to you, don't worry. Yeah, okay.
The first 2 are more like something that you could work alongside somebody with. The third one is really important if you are the developer, if you're building it, if you're using WordPress or Wix or something, and maybe you're not that savvy with it, but you're figuring it out as you go. That's great. There's lots of tutorials and lots of videos you can watch to figure this stuff out, but it's very important that you use modern techniques that aren't going to cause problems later. And if other developers need to come in the project later, like I've seen some that you go in there and it's like you look at their source code and there's like lines and lines of just white space, and then another thing, and then just it's messy, nothing's indented correctly. So now I have to go in there, decipher their whole new language. I'm looking at hieroglyphs here, And so it's just like keeping it tidy and just doing everything right is really important. It helps with site speed, it helps with optimization, and it's just really important for the future, for yourself looking out if you have to go back in there, and for the next guy, just to make sure that everything is cleaned up and tidy.
Yeah, ADA.
I don't know the acronym.
It's attention, interest, desire, action. So important. So
awesome.
It's like kind of a marketing framework.
Cool.
I believe I got those right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it's
guru in here.
Yeah. So
there you go, dude.
It's super important for that. And then I was kind of what I was thinking about too is like plugins, or just like kind of deciding, okay, what way are you actually going to, like, what is your process for the website? So it's
and one thing about plugins I want to touch on too is like if you're, because WordPress is really, really widely used, and so there's tons and tons of people that have built plugins. Like I could go build a plugin right now. I never have built one, but you or I, we could sit down, read through the documentation, learn how to build a plugin, make it do something. But let's say, okay, we make a cool plugin that will do something. Someone installs it, downloads it, but we didn't really know anything about security because we're just learning. And so they now have a plugin on their site that's a security risk, or maybe we did do everything right now, but we just decided to actually, we're not plugin developers, we don't really want to do this, but people are still downloading our plugin and using it, and we haven't been supporting it for 2 years, and so now it's not compatible with the latest WordPress, so you get little weird bugs. Now security isn't there, so it's important when looking at plugins or anything that you add to your site, you want to look, when's the last time that this plugin had an update? How is the support? Read the reviews about it, because if you have a buggy plugin like that, that could be the difference between someone hacking your site, or it could be causing little problems that you don't even know exist. So that's
it's something to think about before you build a website.
It's important to look at who's building it. If it's a big company, like if it's actually built by WordPress, you're probably safe. You know, you're good to go. But it could just be Joe Schmo that built some little plugin and it doesn't really work that well.
Levi Edwards of Boise, Idaho, Rexburg, Idaho. Sorry. Yeah, so that's A Town Square. What's up, Pokemon? But yeah, I think that's something like really really important to think about is like the processes of a website. Because if you can just make a few. If you could just make a few decisions before you build a website, like, hey, this is my, like for better or worse, like, this is my decision with, like, this is how I'm going to do it, you know, or, like, this is the plugin I'm going to use, you know, or, like, this is the way, like, all these decisions, like, then times that by, like, the next lifetime that you have, I don't know, like, however long you're going to have the website, like, it's going to add up. So if you just make a few good decisions at the very beginning, it's just, like, you're going to be way better off.
Yeah, it's really important. And these are kind of, some of these things are, it's stuff that you should do before you even decide what platform you're going to design on, what the actual design is, what the colors are. Like, these are things that you want to sit down with some paper, or in Bruce's case, a whiteboard. And you want to like just write down your thoughts on these things. What are my conversions? What's my target audience? And then, of course, keep in mind as you build, stay tidy, keep everything organized, because organization is key to your success. If everything's a mess, you're going to be scrambled all the time. You're not going to understand why you're not getting the traffic. Am I reaching these goals? I mean, and then at very end, last but not least, let's add a fourth one, track what's going on. And that way you can look and improve things as you go, so you can see, okay, my target isn't being reached here, what can I do differently? And you can also A/B split test, call to action banners, pop-ups, and see maybe this wording in this banner works a little bit better than this one. And you can actually track that. Half the time it will show one banner with this wording, half the time it'll show one banner with this wording, and you can see which one works better. So testing after the fact is really important, because a lot of it is guesswork at the beginning, but you can test and you can optimize to make what's that say?
Yeah, for my teeth, I go to the dentist for a while.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, and it's quality work. It's like you're building like, because your website is like such a big asset for your company. It's almost like ridiculous. Like to the greater world, that almost is your company. I feel like
it really
if you're doing pretty much, I don't know, pretty much anything that I think about anymore. But like, yeah, like
it's almost like your presence. I mean, it's you there. It's how you reach people.
Yeah,
it really is. If it's a video of you or whatever, I mean, like, whatever it is, that's how people see you, your brand, your company. So it's really important that you have this optimized to get the conversions that you want.
Yeah, and then just like being solid and thorough about it. I was gonna make some point with yours. It is brilliant.
It was genius.
Yeah, it's your story, and it's your calling card too. Like people go to your website first, like for more, or like all intents and purposes, like it's basically the virtual avatar of your company. I don't know if that's, I don't know, but
I like it, dude.
But yeah, so like systems, having the processes in place, and then analytics. Okay, that's what I was gonna go on.
Yeah, we're talking about analytics.
So like tracking like your analytics as a company, and like so like Google Analytics, I think is just like something that you have to do. But like we were talking about goals at the very beginning. And so maybe we should talk about like some of the key things, like the key metrics that you should look at, like as a company, because like you have a goal, and then like how are you going to achieve that goal? Like what are the steps? And those are the things that you should be tracking. You know, so like obviously like traffic is important to track, but also where is it coming from? You know, because like people that if most of your traffic's coming from Facebook, and from like blog articles on Facebook, that's a different audience than just like, you know, like they're coming off of Google, or they're coming off of your ads, and you interact with them all different ways. So that's something that you need to think about at the very beginning, because it's like, well, how are you going to set up your Google Analytics? Because like if you set up your Google Analytics today, it's a lot better than next week. You know, like the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best is today. You know, like you know that expression.
Yeah.
But it's so true with your analytics. You know.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to get a lot better data.
And there's some other tools you can use to track things like, as far as opt-in goes, there's a plugin called Bloom Opt-in, I think is what it's called, Bloom Opt-in, in WordPress. But you can actually see the statistics of how many people viewed your opt-in on your site, how many people clicked it, submitted. So you can, there's a number of ways to track metrics to make sure that your website is capturing the conversions that you're getting. Because if you're having 5,000 people come to your site a month, but only 20 of them are converting, then something's wrong, you know? Because you probably have what people need, you probably have what people want. How do you get it to them, and how do you make them understand that? That's kind of the goal.
Yeah, and by the way, welcome on. I saw some new people come on here, and Enter to Learn. I wonder if that's a reference to BYU, but that's their motto is. Anyway, so Enter to Learn, go. Anyway, so, but yeah, so we've been talking about these things. I think that's really important too. And that's another thing is like, because all of a sudden, like once you start building your website, you're gonna have all these like contact forms. Thanks for sharing this out. You're going to have like all these forms that people are filling out.
Yeah.
But if you're not being clear about your structure, like at the beginning you could say, okay, I'm going to put this form to MailChimp, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's going to go to this list from this blog post. So then all of a sudden you can track, oh, okay, like people came from this blog post to this thing. But then like if you get lazy and you start having all these forms go into like one mailing list, you don't know, like there's no way to split them out.
Yeah. Organization.
And it's so it's like if you have a simple system at the very beginning, like it's gonna save your life.
Yeah, so like come up with a system at the beginning, and then you're gonna have to hone it down as you go. That's why tracking is really, really important, because you're not just gonna invent this foolproof system that no one's ever made before. No, you're gonna have to hone it down as you go, but you want to go in with an arsenal of ideas and stuff that you've already worked out, because if you just go in blind, you're going to have a mess on your hands, and you're just going to be throwing stuff around like, I guess that looks good, I guess that's cool, you know, whatever, you know, and that's not the way that you convert people.
Yeah, and then further down the road, you're gonna have to deal with all those consequences, you know.
Yes, so. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I feel like that has a good one. I'd love to hear any comments. If you ruin the beginning planning, you would suggest forever, better prep now and be lazy admin later. Yeah, that's true.
Right. Make your life easier for the future.
Yeah,
like, future you is gonna love that you sat here and planned everything out on your whiteboard, because future you doesn't have to clean up the whole mess that you just made. So
seriously, yeah, and future you, it's so true. It's like now, like I've just spent like a month or two like just developing like our email processes and stuff. And it's like now, like every day, like I just see my email list go up, and I don't even have to do anything.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, oh, I just kind of figured out the system, and like now, like
past you.
Yeah, and it's
present you, happy man.
Yeah, and it's like it sends out emails. It goes through a structure, like and people like will email us back and stuff, and so it's like it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah,
gotta play them latest games. Man.
Yeah, seriously, and there's probably going to be some great social media platforms that come out that you're going to want to be. Future you is going to want to be able to to look at. So
work hard, party harder, right?
Yeah, so it's true though, and I feel like strange. Why do we give so much info to build a site? No one tells me how to build a bike. That's true.
Well, I think that's because there's not billions and billions of how build a bike kits out there. Some people build bikes. I know people that build bikes. That's a lie. I don't know anyone. But I know that there are people that build bikes. And the thing is, anybody can get on the internet and start building a website. There's multiple platforms from any range of knowledge. You can start a website knowing nothing, and you can start a website knowing everything. And so this stage is important, whether you don't know how to build a website or you do know how to build a website. If you're going to have a website, it's really, really important that you understand the goal of your business presence, you know?
Yeah, hello Alice, how's it going? Yeah, like, and I've heard this analogy before too. So like, okay, right now, if it's before you're building a website, you can build it anywhere, right? So you can build it on a landfill, you know, like you can build it in Bangkok, like you can, it's like building a house. There's Kickstarter for bikes, yeah. So, but you can build your house anywhere.
404.
You can build it in you know, like Louisiana, 4 feet under, or like, I don't know, 20 feet underground, or I don't know, whatever.
6 feet under.
So you can choose anywhere, the best vista, the best anything, or on the moon, yes.
So you get internet on the moon?
Yeah. you can do whatever you want, but you can only blame you once you start building. You know, like once you bought the land, and once you start building the structure, like it's only your fault after that. So it's like, right now, if you have all the possibilities, just figure out, you know, like where the best view is, like where you're going to want to be in the future. If you're going to, you know, like...
Yeah, if you're not the one building the website, help your web developer along in these steps, because he probably A, doesn't have the passion for your company that you do, and B, he just doesn't understand your niche the way that you do. And so it's really important. I've seen the greatest success come from clients that are hands-on with the project. Not hands-on in the sense that they micromanage every design process, but they're hands-on in that they'll give us content and they'll give us their clear goals and visions so that we can optimize that for them.
Yeah, and Rami says, nobody's invested in building websites on the moon. We could be billionaires.
Let's jump in.
Yeah, seriously, I don't think Snapchat has a geofence that you could put on the moon. So I don't know, like, it might be early stage investing, but once Elon Musk gets there.
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
But yeah, I feel like that's true. So if you're kind of in this mindset, if you're looking to Wi-Fi on the moon. If you've built a website or you're looking to kind of optimize your website, my recommendation is to go onto netmark.com/website report. But you can tell me like whatever you're thinking about, and we can chat about this, and I can kind of give you you some basic like structures to think about in your specific case. I'm in a good mood today, so maybe I just jokes while sharing ideas. Yeah.
Gotta keep it light, right?
Yeah, I gotta keep it light.
Yeah, so put your website in here at the form. We can take a look at it, run a quick
review with it.
Yeah, run a review. We'd be happy to look at it, help you out. And if you need somebody to build a website for you, we'd be happy to take a look.
Future you. Let's talk about future you.
A little bit. Yeah, have us look at your website.
Future you wants you to go click on this today.
Present you needs to fill this out.
Yeah,
right on, man.
That's super true. Okay, well, anyway, we'll be back on again tomorrow at about the same time, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time-ish. And,
that's right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So be sure to give us a follow. Love to connect with you on Twitter or any other place. But this is Levi, I'm Bruce, and we're going to peace out today.
That's right.
So
thanks, guys.
Have a good one.